Hello and thank you for joining us. My name is Dylan Little with the Mid-Continent Public Library. This is the 26th year of the Mid-Continent Public Library's Veteran Salute, an annual tradition honoring and highlighting the stories and service of our local veterans. Going back several years, the library has taken the opportunity to record the stories of local veterans with the help of our Midwest Genealogy Center. If you joined us last year, you may have viewed our interviews with a remarkable group of local Korean War veterans. This year, we're back to work with local filmmaker Kevin Bryce to highlight a new generation of veterans, those who joined the service in the wake of 9/11. As you will soon discover, every veteran story is as dynamic as it is powerful. We are lucky to have a chance to share these Kansas City area veterans in the weeks to come. Before we turn over the focus to this group of extraordinary individuals with their stories of service, we want to preface this special program with a heads up. This presentation contains adult language and graphic descriptions of violence. It may not be suitable for all ages, and viewer discretion is advised.
I don't actually remember, but I think that we came home in July or August. I think I ran every single mission except for the very, very last one. And I remember having this fear that I would get killed before. I remember thinking, there's no way I'll survive all this. And so I remember thinking, just one more night, you know, this is it. And so we're in this tent, and somebody came and they were like, "Hey, Doc, you don't have to go on the mission tonight." And I remember being like, "What? No, I gotta go." And they're like, "Nope, you know, Lieutenant Robert says you're done." And I remember being like just shocked, you know, like I made it.
I have a 1-year-old at the moment, Said. When we came back and we were ready to go back to Puerto Rico, that's when Hurricane Maria passed by the island. So we spent like 2 weeks stuck in Texas waiting for a flight. It was crazy because we were so excited because everyone made it back safe from the mission. We were all together waiting for the flight, and then Hurricane Maria passed. We lost communications with everyone's family, like we didn't know what was going on. So I didn't know about Said for like maybe 4 days. I didn't know about him, like anything about him. I didn't know if he was fine. And we were one of the first flights to get there. When the airplane was landing on San Juan, I didn't recognize the place. Like it was like a bomb just destroyed everything.
When you got home, was it, such a release to be able to see family in a way that?
Of course,
yeah.
And especially seeing Said, my son.
How big was he? Did he look bigger?
Oh yeah, it was shocking for me. Like every time that I remember that time, it bring me like, I want to cry.
I was sent to Fort Riley to the WTU there, which is the Warrior Transition Unit.
So they've recognized this, and you're getting the same type of care as if you had been deployed and you were coming back. Is that on some level they're recognizing you've had a combat trauma?
Yes.
Right.
I'm just having all these issues. I'm irritable, I'm hypervigilant, all the symptoms of PTSD. These headaches are just debilitating me. I'm going to the emergency room almost once a week because my head hurts so bad. It's so painful. So 2011 rolls around and I get pregnant with our first son. And I try to cut back on a lot of those medications that you can't be on when you're pregnant. All I can think about is if I have to deploy or I have to go through something like that again and leaving him. So being a new mom, I decided to take the medical retirement. So they promote me to sergeant and medically retire me. At this point, I feel a little bit lost. I feel like I don't belong anywhere. I really love the sense of belonging in the military.
I think the hard part of reacclimating for myself and for many others is that loss of identity that I mean, we were the tip of the spear. We were this
Yeah.
thing, you know, like people were seeing us off, calling us heroes before we even left.
Right.
And then you come back and it's like, I'm in Kansas City. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Right.
And that sense of community being gone, but now you got to catch up with life. You know, you got to get the job and pay the bills and do all the things.
Right.
But yeah, I think that's the most challenging part, is that just I'm gonna try and keep this mask on because that's what kept me alive on the
Right.
battlefield in Talifar and
Right.
Mosul.
But yeah, it was just over very quickly. You know, one day you're on a combat mission and, you know, a month later you're waving goodbye.
And it's just over.
It's just over. And then you go home, you get off an airplane and you're holding your rifle. This thing has been glued to you. You sleep with it. It's always right next to you. You go to the chow hall with it, and then you get off an airplane and they unceremonially take your weapon from you and they put it in a box, and you go on without it, and you feel completely naked and helpless. And that was like the most ceremonial thing that happened to us when we came home. Like the unceremonial taking of our weapons. That was like the most symbolic thing we experienced. That was it.
But you're still kind of at this level of anxiety and fear and anger.
Yeah.
And they've taken away the thing that you always had with you
To keep you safe.
to keep you safe. And they say, you're fine, go.
It's the worst thing you could ever do to someone who's 22 years old, who's just been in combat, is like send them back home. Because you're not ready for that.
You're not ready for that. What was it like, just
Well,
being home?
I basically sat on the front porch and just thought, you know. I had nothing else to do and didn't really want to see anyone. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I was very angry when I came home because life had just gone on, and you know, it's like you just see people going about their lives and they have no idea what the hell is going on.
Yeah, I mean, the public's ignorance of the military in general is very high. And personally, I think that's a good thing. Like, that's why I signed up, was to make it where the American people didn't have to know and experience these things,
Right.
like 9/11 on a larger scale.
Right.
You know, it's one of those double-edged swords. Like, I'm glad that they're ignorant, and also there would be times where it would be nice if they weren't so ignorant.
Right.
On the day that we brought Spencer's remains home, 10,000 people lined the route from the airport to the funeral home.
Were you surprised at the support that the community gave you?
Yes.
Oh, that's
yeah.
Yeah.
We were overwhelmed by it. I mean, I can't express what it felt like to be in that procession, and at some point, you know, I didn't know what to do. You know, I'm looking at face after face after face, and mothers holding their babies and tears just rolling down their face, and one of Spencer's teachers, you know, waving an American flag, just, you know, just tears rolling down his face, and just that whole thing. And at some point in time, all I could do, I just put my hand up in the window like that, and just left it there, you know. And I can remember as we were going by, other people would reach their hand out, you know, just like that too. And it's like we could connect that way.
If you're interested in learning more about this program, please visit mymcpl.org/veteran salute. If you're a veteran or concerned about one, there are caring and qualified VA responders standing by 24/7 with the Veterans Crisis Line at 1-800-243-8255 or via text at 838-255.